What's up, guys? My name is JC. I am Wrong to Strong, and today's topic is why are men so weak? Oh man, and I always use myself as a example. I believe that a lot of weaknesses for men come from the ways the way we're raised, our childhood events, stuff like that. It's a lot of things. It's not just one, but men, and I believe a lot of men. I want to say, and I don't know, what do you guys think? I want to say 9 out of 10 struggle with, women. A lot of men struggle with ego. A lot of men struggle with anger. And I believe these are all weaknesses because I remember what these things used to do to me, these emotions. When I was constantly sleeping around, there was like an emptiness. I can't explain it, that I felt every time afterwards. Call it whatever, but it felt empty. Almost like I felt cheap, I guess, afterwards. Like a hooker. and I mean, it's what I was doing. I had so many weaknesses, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this today was because a lot of these weaknesses sometimes destroy men. I've seen a lot of my friends throw their whole life away over weaknesses. Some of them drugs, some of them alcohol, some of them women, some of them power, some of them even in the drug business. Being jealous of others. That was a big weakness. I've had my share of weaknesses, and I would like to say that today, knowing who I am, my identity, and I'm always gonna be healing. I'm always gonna keep getting better. But today I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I love to do. And it's all been a trip, guys, for real. Like it's been hard work, but also it's been sweet. The walk has been sweet. From starting at the studio to building the brand, to opening up the studio, to like what we're doing now in the prisons with DOC, and I wrote it down in my journals, but I knew I had to do the work. But my work almost went down the drain because of my weaknesses. One of my biggest weaknesses was alcohol. For some reason, every time I drank, I just drank to get white boy wasted. And that led me to get a few DUIs. When I say a few, I want to say about, I think, five DUIs. So that weakness almost destroyed me. That weakness almost sent me to prison for life. Also, the weakness of women. And I'm not saying it's bad to be attracted to women. I'm not saying that it's bad. No, there's a right way of doing things. There's a right way of, I guess you could say, looking at a woman and being like, oh, she's pretty, instead of looking at her and like lusting over her. That was one of my big weaknesses too. And today, to be able to not think like that, because that was the biggest thing. My mind was so corroded, so rotten, that I would always think the worst. I would always think the most perverted things. It was the most bad stuff all the time. And I had to bring myself back from that person. I developed a lot of weaknesses because of how I grew up, what happened to me, my environment, things that I did to myself also, it created a lot of weaknesses. But I want to say in the past 4 years that I've really sat down and worked on myself, a lot of those weaknesses have turned into strengths. In a million years, if you would have told me that I would be sitting down on a computer sending out emails and responding to them, I would have laughed in your face, because I was led to believe my whole life that I had I couldn't sit still. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. There was a lot of things that were put on me that supposedly I couldn't do. And I think I carried that on into my adulthood. And sometimes I guess I believed them. It's not the case today. Today, I'm willing to step into a room, whether it's one person or 400, and share my story, share my weaknesses, but also share my strengths now. It's been 8 years, guys. It's been 8 years of me working on myself. It's been 8 years of me falling down and getting back up and learning what my weaknesses were and what my strengths were, because when my wires were crossed, I used to think some of my weaknesses were actually strengths. I used to think that just because girls would say hi to me, that I was like this good-looking guy, and it wasn't even that. I was easy. I made myself available, so of course they say hi. I had to completely transform who I was, and I had to relearn everything. And that's why I said, I had to really sit down and analyze my weaknesses and look at them and say, what have they done for me? What has happened? Everything. And once I started eliminating that, and it's just like when you're going on a diet, I always tell people that I work with, there's always one thing that everybody has a hard time cutting out of the diet, whether it's soda, beer, sweets. It's always something. And I always tell everybody, if you don't learn to know that that's your weakness, and you don't learn to treat it with respect, then it's always going to be your weakness. Right now, I'm getting back into, working out again, dieting again. I got a little burnt out, so I took some time off, and I started eating bad. Not bad, but I started eating what I wanted. And I got into the habit of drinking a soda, a small soda, the little can one, and eating the ice cream after my dinner. Well, now that I'm starting to diet again, I was like, okay, so one of them has to go. Because I do it in chunks. I don't do everything at once. I do it in little chunks, and the soda's gonna be the first one to go, and then next week the ice cream's gonna be the one to go. And just that alone, eliminating those two things, I guarantee you, I'll drop about 10 pounds. But weaknesses. I have a weakness to ice cream. It's my kryptonite. I have a weakness to soda. I grew up drinking soda in my house every day. So, but when I get locked in, I get locked in. When I get locked in, it's just, that's it. It's gone. And that's what I'm doing right now. Highlighting my weaknesses and gonna focus on my strengths. What are my strengths is that no matter what, I get up every day. No matter what, I'll do cardio. No matter what, I'll work out. Those are my strengths. So once I work on my weaknesses, the strengths get highlighted more. You understand what I'm saying? My name is JC. I am wrong to strong. Hey, some men, yes, some men are weak, just like I was. But if you work on yourself enough, they won't be weaknesses no more. They'll actually be strengths. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on YouTube. And I don't know why I'm saying all this stuff, because it's not going to go on there. All right, my name is JC. I am wrong to strong. Hey, súbanse a la Suburban, because we're about to take a ride.